And how about two charts in one? Let's go to single best chart. We do that with Sri-Kumar. In the upper left corner is a work of art. Look at that chart, which is an approximation of Sri-Kumar saying economic growth is up here and economic growth is now down here. So you've got this economic growthiness, and yet Ed Hyman of Evercore ISI and Dean Mackey over at 0.72 say the unemployment rate's going to migrate down, and Ed Hyman says we're going to burst through here to 3.5%. Sri, help us. How can you have weak economic growth and an unemployment rate that goes lower and lower and lower?
I think the answer to you is that the U3 unemployment rate, which is what you're plotting there, Tom, is a very imperfect measure of the state of the labor market, and it has increasingly become that way post-2008 financial crisis. One, the U6 unemployment rate, which includes the underemployed and those who have left the workforce because they can't find jobs, that is still remaining at pre-crisis levels. We have not had a recovery on the U6 unemployment rate. Second, and this is probably most important, the participation rate overall for the labor force, as well as for the more important 25 to 54-year-olds, is now dropping and continuing to remain low compared with before. One way to lower unemployment rate is to throw people out of the workforce, which is one way to do it.
Within this is, and it's like a flashback 2.5 years. Is there still slack in the economy? Even though the Fed wants to raise rates, is the word that Chair Yellen invented, slack, is it still there?
Absolutely. I believe there is a lot of slack. The slack is particularly on the low-income, low-skill level of employers. There is a shortage of high-skill employees, which is why you find the so-called quit rate is very high. People are leaving their jobs at high incomes because they can find other jobs and there is a shortage. But numerically, Tom, in terms of the overall number of workers in the United States, though low-income workers dominate, and that is still the crux of the issue that Janet Yellen has to face. She cannot worry about the tech industry in Silicon Valley, which is short of labor. She has to worry about the low-wage numbers, which are much bigger, and that's the cause of the crisis.